Hi, everyone. Welcome to Amazon Live. I'm Sarah Gelman, editorial director for books at Amazon. And today I'm joined by the host of NBC's The Tonight Show and five-time #1 New York Times bestselling author, Jimmy Fallon. He's
Whoa,
here today to talk
that's a
about.
good intro there. Hi,
Thank
Sarah.
you.
Hi,
I mean,
Sarah Gilman.
it's a little intimidating to introduce someone who interviews people for a living, but hopefully that
I'm
was
not
okay.
judging you.
Uh,
I'm not going to judge you, Sarah. This is going to be nothing but fun. I'm off. We're
okay, good.
not. Yeah. But so far,
Yes.
so good. You made
Uh,
me feel welcome.
oh, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Let me show your book. Check. This is your new book. It's called
Yeah.
Nana Loves You More, and it's inspired by your relationship with your own grandma. And I heard that this book debuted at #1 on the New York Times bestseller list, which is a pretty big deal. So congratulations.
It's the craziest ride ever, to be honest. A couple years ago, I put out a book called Your Baby's First Word Will Be Dada. And the reason why I put it out, because it was a joke, because I had my first child. I was lucky enough to have my first child, and I secretly had a competition with my wife. Like, I say secretly because she was not in this competition. I was the only one trying to get the baby to say "dada" as their first word. So I would do whatever I could to make the baby say "dada." So I would give her a bottle and go "dada," or I would just make up anything to "dada" just to try. Even if I tricked her, I go, I don't care, as long as she just says "dada" first. That'll be the thing. Of course, her first word was "mama," and that's great. And so I wrote that book, and then the book took off and it became a hit. And I go, that's fun, and it was. Doubly rewarding because I go, there's just the fact that it came out was cool, and that I get to see people reading it, and and then people started sending me videos of them reading it to their babies and children, and then they sent me videos of their children reading it back to me and kind of learning how to read from my book. And they're like, not only was data was his first word or her first word, but now they love reading because of your book. And I go, I mean, yes, of course, that was my plan the whole time. But like, that was crazy. I didn't know if that could even happen, and it did. And then, of course, I had to write "Everything Is Mama" because that's the way it was in my house. Once they said "Dad," which they eventually said, it went right back to "Mama." So I wrote "Everything Is Mama." Then I wrote "This Is Baby," which is just like a kind of baby body part book, just because I'm like, where's your nose, where's your toes, and that type of stuff, and just cute. And I knew that I'm gonna miss doing that with my kids, and so the more I can, so I wrote that book, and then all the grandmas spoke, all the gammies, all the
They
abuelas,
they can be loud sometimes.
they
The
are
nanas
a
can be loud.
powerful. Do not mess with
Yeah.
grandmas at all. They are a powerful force of nature. And the grandma's like, "Hey, where's our book? Where's Nana?" And I go, "I know, I understand. I will." But then I'm like, "What do I do? What do I do with Nana? Like, what do I? Because there's so many things I'm trying to do and trying to think of a cool angle that's fun. But I also wanted to go kind of sweet with the book as well, but not too sad, because there's these kids books out there that I'm sure these people know who's tuning into the stream right now. There's books out there that are very sad, and I kind of banned them from my house because they're too sad. There's that one where the kid grows up to be a
Oh,
man and he
yes.
carries his mom.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Too
I know which
sad.
one you were talking about before with the, yes, I won't,
He's
that's
carrying his
not allowed in
mom
my
up there. I
house.
go, I'm reading to my daughter. I'm like,
I don't
and
allow
she's
those
like,
either.
"What are you doing?" I go, "This is not good for either one of us." So then I go,
No,
"I
I
want
feel
to
like
do one of
life is
these
sad
books."
enough. Yeah.
Was that?
Life is sad enough. I don't need like a sad bedtime story for my child.
They're never ever gonna get that. They're too. You want to have sweet. So this is a good mixture of sweet and a little weepy in there, just because I love my grandma, and my kids have two beautiful, awesome grandmas, and it's I kind of got this title from my father-in-law, weirdly, because whenever we go visit him, we're leaving him. I'd say, "All right, bye. Take care. I love you." And he goes, "Love you more." I go, "Ooh, that's a good line there. I wish I said that." And I go, "Wow." So I kind of took that. I'm like, "Oh, that's the whole thing about grandparents. They already did their job raising people. And so now if they have grandkids and they're lucky enough to have grandkids, they love you more than anything. And I go, that's it. Nana loves you more. And then what it could be is it could be the child talking to the grandma saying, wait, more than candy, more than the space, planets, and the moon. And you go, yeah, yeah, more than that. And I go, well, more than, and then you can get as creative as you want.
Well, it's a really fun book. I was telling you before we started, I read it to my son, and he said his favorite part was the chocolatey fountain part. And I asked if he loved me
I
more
love
than
that.
chocolatey fountains, and he didn't commit to that. He was like,
You
I
thought about
really
it.
love chocolate. He did. I was
Yeah.
like, do you have any idea what you took
He's
from
like,
me?
Mom, I really love chocolate. I really do love chocolate. So let me think on this a little bit, Mom. That was interesting.
He'll get
That
back to
that
me.
that exact one was a little bit of a, I mean, not a pushback, but from my publishers, they were like, because they're like, we love it. They go, we just don't get, uh, we don't get chocolatey fountains. What is that? I go, yeah, it's like kind of like, I mean, I don't know,
It's
it
like,
doesn't exist, but it's like every kid knows it's like a swimming pool of chocolate.
or
How
it's
cool
like
is
a
that?
wedding in the 1990s. There are chocolate fountains for sure, right? Or
No,
like
it's not that
a
chocolate
really
fountain.
good bat mitzvah, maybe.
No, I know those things. Yeah, which by the way, it's
Yeah,
also available on Amazon. You can get some chocolate melting fountains and get some
yeah.
strawberries and go for it and have yourself a '90s bat mitzvah. But um, yeah, there it is. More than swimming in chocolatey fountains. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, how cute? How
It's
cute is
not
that?
just the chocolatey fountain, it's swimming in it.
Yeah, he's totally, or she is totally immersed in the chocolate, and there's bars floating around, and yeah, I love.
At least I feel like in my family, my nana or my mom, who's nana to my kids, would say, like, here's all the chocolatey fountain, and now I'm gonna go to bed, but good luck putting them to bed, Sarah. Yeah.
Yeah, bye. I did
That's
my
the best
job.
part
Yeah.
about being a nana.
My mom gave my sister's kids a pint of ice cream each with a spoon. I got a little bit aggressive there.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of ice cream. What do they call you, Nina?
My mom is nana to them, and she
She's Nana.
claimed nana. She's nana, and she claimed it. She was she's my mom, so she got first pick. And I said,
My,
what would you like to be called? Like Bubby, Grandma, and she's like, I'd like to be Nana, and so she's Nana.
my mom was like, "Do not call me grandma. I'm
Yeah,
too
no,
young to be
that's
grandma.
yeah.
I want to
No
be
one wants to
called
be called Grandma.
Gigi." I go,
I have a
Gigi.
Gigi as well. Yes.
I go, no one's calling you Gigi, pal. I'm sorry. They're calling you grandma. You have no choice of this, Gigi. I go, I can't start this. Yeah, for gorgeous grandma or something crazy. I go, okay, but that's why when I dedicated the book, I dedicated to Gigi. I just
We
figured
have we have
she'd get a
Amazon
kick out of
customer
that.
questions. I forgot to mention that Amazon customers can write in if you have a question, put it in the chat. I will get to as many as I can. I'm going to
Write
read
them
a
in, write them
couple.
in. Let's go. Let's get to some questions.
But comment, I love this username, Corgi Lover says, my nephew loves Jimmy's
The
books.
Queen.
It's how
It's
we
the
taught
Queen
him
of
to say
England.
mama more than dada. So there you go. You were successful. We have Amazon customer EG saying, Jimmy, have you ever thought of putting your books to song?
Yeah, I thought about that, but the first book, seriously, is Dada Moo Dada Quack, Dada Baha, and that's really it. It's about 3 pages long. And so short song, more of like a ringtone, maybe. So I would say I thought about it, and then whoever is in their right mind said no. So, but this one's longer. This one's about, look at this. It's about, you stack up 20 of these, you got my size of my face with these guys. But it's this one, they all rhyme, and so yeah, I would totally do that because I listen to music with my kids and play it all the time, and uh, through Alexa, weirdly enough, if as we're doing
My
this
turn on.
Amazon thing, that's how we listen to music in our house.
It's cute
They're
when the little kids actually talk to her, right? And they like, my sons will be like, Alexa, play the theme from Power Rangers, blah blah blah. I'm like,
Oh
how do you
yeah,
even know what that is?
yeah.
But
And
yeah,
then I'll
it,
ask Alexa a question like, Alexa, what's the weather? You go, Alexa, stop. Alexa,
she's in the
play
other room.
Encanto. I go, all
She's
right.
talking to me from the other room.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Uh,
maybe it could be your baby's first word is Alexa.
could
That's
be, could
that's
be.
meta. That's meta.
Uh,
That's meta.
we have Amazon customer David Chambers saying, "When does Papa come out?" That is in our house the equivalent of Nana is Papa. That is grandfather. So yeah, when does
I
Papa come
feel
out?
like that's next on the list, right? You go, Dada, Mama. Baby was just a fun thing to just try and put out there, but that's a secret book there. That one's a goodie. That one's fun. If you have a baby or newborn or know somebody, it's a fun book to play because you get to you know uh, interact with the kid. But then Nana was a big deal. So now the grandpas are like, hey, when's the Papa book? And I go, okay, I got to think of the jam for Papa. But I think that I kind of have a take on what that could be. I want to make that kind of silly and funny, so that kind of base it off of my dad and kind of make fun of him a little bit. I think that'll be a funny a funny move because you got to give the love. You got to give the love to the grandmas and the mamas out there, and the dadas and the grandpas. You poke a little fun at them. I think.
It's kind of like the baby shark hierarchy. Like Grandpa Shark comes last in the hierarchy of baby shark. It
Never
starts
made
with
it
the
through that
baby.
song. Never don't no
Oh,
spoilers. Never made it through. Never made
you,
it through that song. Actually, I gave the robber my ATM pin code before they could continue to play the song. They're like, I will play this until I go. Just take everything. Take my credit
you
card,
have
whatever
some.
you need. I don't want to hear the song anymore. Uh, there was a dance as well, wasn't there?
I think I missed the dance. There's definitely been a TV show too. I mean, oh yes, you're right. And the grandpa like is like dentures, I think. I don't
He's
know.
got
I
no
get
teeth. Oh my gosh.
yeah. That's all I know.
It's funny. It's brilliant. Actually, it was great. When it a couple
Yeah,
first 200 times, catchy song.
my kids still love it.
They
We
do.
have Amazon. Yeah, they do. And I'm always trying like get them to listen to something a little bit better, but yeah, they still like
I'm
it a
all in
lot.
conto now.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah,
Bruno,
they're
it's yeah.
Bruno. Yeah, we do
Surface
talk about
Pressure,
Bruno.
I felt like that really spoke to me too, which it's a good song.
Oh,
The one about
the whole soundtrack
yeah,
is amazing. I loved it. It just I think music for kids is just getting better and better, and they're like up in the game. Raising the bar.
definitely. We have Amazon customer D Skaggs asking, "Did you ever come up with any cute rhymes that didn't make it in the book?" I think they want to
Yeah.
hear those cute rhymes.
Oh, you want to hear them? Gosh.
Yes.
I did. I tell you exactly how I this one. I go, Nana loves you more. I'm like, what? How do I do it? How do I start the rhyme? What? How will I get inspired to do that? And I was like, it was like Nana will read to you and sing you to sleep because I like the idea of grandma reading to the child, and the child all sleepy in the bed, and fill you with memories that you'll always keep because that's kind of really the point of all these books is that it's time spent with your grandkids, right? So Nana can go, hey, I got the baby. You guys go do whatever. I'm going to read to the kid, and it's a memory that you'll have with grandma. So I go forever. This is the line: forever from one past 104, which means just forever. You'll always love Nana, but Nana loves you more. And I was like, oh yeah, that's the take. And then you can set up, all the rhymes: more than the moon, more than the stars, more than all the planets by far. And then I started getting crazy. Then I'm like, more than Paris and the Eiffel Tower, and it's like more than cats with super cat powers.
That
You
was
know,
our
you
second
can
favorite page. Super Cat
right?
Powers. Second
Yeah.
favorite. Yep.
So I just came up with those ones, and then I'm like, so I had probably 30 rhymes that I didn't use, but I'm trying to remember what they were. They weren't as good as these. I know that. I remember this one was interesting. More than whales, more than cheese. they have
She
nothing
really
in
loves
common.
cheese.
Yeah, I like that the mouse is she really loves cheese. But I don't know how, but in my head I thought, what's the biggest thing and what's the smallest thing? You know, because the other thing about kids' books and reading books to kids is that you can you can make this as long and short as you want. You know, you can read this in 5 minutes if you want to, or you can take time and go, "Yeah, what color is the whale? Look how small the man. Like, look, he's holding the cheese. It's bigger than him. Or you know, this is a new character in this book. Is the little ant.
Oh, cute.
I mean, come on, is that the cutest thing you ever seen? It's just basically an eyeball with legs.
Tiny ants are cute.
Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, I love you can take every page and add as much as you want, more than candy and things that are sweet. And you go, "What's your favorite candy?" You know, and you can have a conversation, you know, with your child as you're reading these books, and just make it as interactive and as long or short as you want, and fun. Make it fun so that they know that books are fun and they're funny, and that you can get a laugh. And anytime I can get a laugh, you know, if I read this to kids, I'd be like, more than your favorite ice cream. I go, what's your favorite ice cream? And they all scream. And I go, when you see the duck, you have to yell quack. So
I like
eventually
the duck.
this duck, yeah, the duck comes up on here. I hear my own music when I'm holding her hand. And I go, duck! And they all go, quack! And they scream it, and it's fun. And you go, yeah, that's what it should be. It should be fun like that.
Well, we have Amazon customer Chelsea Anderson is asking a question I have as well. So I'm going to skip to her question. What was your favorite book as a child? Because it sounds like you have some pretty good reading memories from your childhood.
I remember there was I love this Sesame Street book called There's a Monster at the End of This Book. And it
Yes.
was, do you remember that?
My
And
son asked me to read it the other night, and the younger guy was like, "That's scary." I was like, "The monster's Grover. It's not scary.
but
He's the
it was
monster."
such a brilliant book.
Yeah.
It's taking a book and making it almost like a movie where it's like he's Grover's telling you, do not turn the page. Please don't. Please, there's a monster at the end of this book. Don't do it.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I will build a wall, you know, so that you don't build it. I will, you know, he put ropes and boards up and he's like, don't turn the page. Then you're like, "What?" And he's like, I just told you not to do it. Just trust me. There's a monster. And then it's fun. And that was like, I remember how different that book was. And I loved reading it and kind of daring myself to go, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And then the monster was Grover, lovable old Grover.
Yeah, and you feel like, I mean, now I like get really deep about it. Like, not all monsters are scary, you know? He's just a monster. He's just like us.
Yeah,
Um,
I love that. I love that. I thought that was one of my favorite books. My kids like that too. My kids are really into you know, Mo Willems,
oh yeah.
Elephant and
I love
Piggy
his stuff.
books. He's a
Yes.
genius. It's just
Yeah.
those are the greatest books. I love them so much. I love the artwork. I love the simplicity, but also the message. You know, are just in all of them. They're like, patience is hard. It's like, yeah, this is a great lesson that they can learn. And my kids love those books. They're reading all of those right now. Elephant and Piggy books is what they're called. And check out Mo Willems. He's brilliant.
Yeah, he has some great books. We have Amazon customer asking, how awesome was it to read your book in front of the president and first lady? So you have to tell this story for those that don't know it.
All right, I will tell you exactly what happened. So we I came out with the book. It did well. I was very excited about that, and I was happy with that, celebrating. It was like, oh my gosh, it came out, did well. I'm so happy. Then someone said the first lady, they're having the Easter egg roll at the White House, and the first lady is making it about education. You know, she's a teacher. She's been a teacher for 30 years. And she wants to do like a reading and she likes the idea of your book. And I'm like, she even knows that I have a book. This is crazy. And I go, they want to invite you to the White House with you know, your daughters and your wife. I go, wow, this is amazing. So I go, yes, absolutely. I'm there. I'll read it to kids. I can't wait. They go, now calm down. Don't get too excited because I don't know if you're going to meet the first lady. And I go, oh, that's fine. That's totally, I'm totally, I understand. And they go, and the president definitely out. You won't meet the president. It's the president has the. I go, totally understand. I'm honored. I'm honored to go to the White House. I'd love to do that. So I get to the White House, and there's a little waiting line. You wait in line to meet the first lady, and they said the president is there as well. I go, fantastic. And so we're waiting in line with my kids, and my kids had these two stuffed animals, Squishmallows. I don't know if you know those. Do you know those
Oh
dolls?
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
sure.
So they had to put the Squishmallows off to the side. I'm like, they will not meet the president and the first lady. We'll come back and get Bella and Binky. And so we go in, we meet, and the president was so funny. He kneeled down to my daughters and he goes, I don't know who this man is behind you, but you guys are very cute. How old are you? And what's your names? And it was a funny bit. And then his daughter was there, and I got to meet his daughter, who I'm a fan of, and the first lady, who's just amazing. And I said hello, and we made some jokes. And the last time I was at the White House, I went to I did stand up for the veterans. It was the 4th of July, and I went to the South Lawn. I did stand up. I was so nervous to meet. It was Barack Obama and Michelle, and so I remember I got dressed in my nicest suit I ever had. So I had a giant knotted tie. I had almost like I want to say it was like an 8-piece suit. I had like a vest and another thing. It was just, anyways. Cut to, it's 104 degrees in July, and I'm sweating so much. It looked like I was being strangled the whole day. I'm like, my eyes are bulging out and my face is red. I'm like, it's so not funny. And I'm opening up for Foo Fighters, and they're there, Dave Grohl, and everyone's wearing t-shirt and board shorts. And they're like, wow, man, you really went for it, huh, with the suit? I go, I mean, President, the first lady. I meet them. It's a true story. And Michelle, the first lady, Michelle Obama, starts laughing at me. She's like, oh my gosh, Jimmy, you look so hot. Are you okay, bud? And she loosens my tie. I'm like, Miss First Lady, it's an honor to meet you. And the president goes to me, he goes, Jimmy, didn't you get the memo? It's a barbecue. And I was like, uh-huh. And I took the worst photo I've ever taken in the history of my lifetime. So I wanted to make sure that I was cooler in this one. Of course, I wore like a tan suit, thin. And of course, it was 40 degrees at the White House. And my skin was blue from being ice cold. So I went the opposite, from heat miser to cold miser. And hopefully the photos turned out great. They haven't sent them to me yet. I don't know if they want proof that I was at the White House. Anyways, long story long, I get to the tent where I'm about to read. They were so nice to me, and couldn't have been nicer. The president is energetic. He's like, "What are we doing now? Let's go. Let's go." I go. He wants to come out. He wants to do more like the egg roll, and it was beautiful. And there was a marching band playing the Star Spangled Banner, and I was just so honored to be at the White House, and I felt very patriotic. And I go up, and they go, "The first lady's actually going to read her book, or read Brown Bear, Brown Bear." I go, "Great, that's amazing." So the first lady reads Brown Bear, Brown Bear, and the president comes and joins her. So I go, "That's cool." And then I thought they were going to leave after that, and they didn't leave. They stayed there, and then they introduced me. I don't even know if they knew, like, now they're stuck with me. So I got on stage with the president and the first lady. They were holding my book, and I'm going, what is going on? This is the greatest ride of all times. And I read it to the kids and with them, and they were laughing. And then I got to the part where your favorite ice cream, and I'm like, I didn't mean you, Mr. President, but you love ice cream. And he was like, what? And he started talking, and it was just so great. And I had the greatest time, and it was above and beyond what I could even experience. And my kids loved it. We loved Washington, D.C. We went and saw some, monuments. We went to a museum, Natural History Museum, and we had the best weekend. By the way, highly recommend going to D.C. if you're looking for a trip with your family. All those museums are free, by the way, which is not the case in New York City. But it was awesome. I loved it.
That's an amazing story. I hope your girls will like appreciate that more when they're older. Now they were like, "Hey, that was a really great Easter egg hunt. That was cool."
I know.
We
No, they knew exactly. They knew everyone. They were like, "Yep,
oh, nice.
Dr. Joe Biden." They knew everything. They were just so, yeah. It was a treat. Never forget it.
We have a video question from a very adorable little girl named Tori, and feel like we need to roll that video because it's so sweet.
Hello, Jimmy Fallon. My name is Toy and I'm 5 years old. I like to make cakes for my grandma and I like to play Candyland. What is your favorite thing to do with your family?
I mean, right?
No. I
So
mean,
cute.
please. I mean, well, I don't know what
Can
sitcom
we
she
just
has to
play
end up
that for
on
the rest of
immediately,
our
but
time?
let's just quit and become her agent and just start getting her gigs. Oh my gosh, I love Jimmy Fallon. A lot of kids call me Jimmy Fallon, which I love. It's
I
so
think a
cute.
lot of it's not just kids. I think a lot of people call you that.
Oh
I mean,
yes, that's true.
yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, I was saying as opposed to Jimmy. A lot of people call me.
yes.
A lot of kids call me Jimmy Fallon. Hi, Jimmy Fallon. Um, all right. I love Candyland as well. I play that probably every weekend. Um, it's a game of luck, to be honest. There's no real skill to that game. You just got to pick the right cards and just hope for the best. And you're at the top. You go, oh, this is great. It's the end of this game, And then I go gingerbread man, and I go all the way back to the beginning, and I go, oh, I go, you got to be kidding me. So I am a fan of Candyland. Win or lose, I do like that game. That's a classic.
It's like Shoots and Ladders. That game was cruel too.
There is, yeah, there's that one. My kids love it. They always love when I fall down the chutes. They think it's so good. I don't know if you've seen, but they put out these new Candyland and Shoots and Ladders that look like books, so you can put them on your
No.
bookshelf. They look like old fashioned,
How did
like
I miss this? It's like my job to
oh,
know these things. It's
oh,
embarrassing.
well, not really. I mean, they're not books, they're games,
Okay.
but they look like
Okay.
books. They're like,
Thanks for
You're gonna
making
freak out.
thanks for making me feel better.
No,
We have
Sarah, you're pro.
one
I know.
more.
I've seen you before. You know what you're doing. But check these
Oh,
things out. They're
totally.
pretty cool. Yeah.
We have one more video question. This is a very special question for me because this is actually my mom, Nana. So let's roll video for my mom.
Hi, Jimmy. My name's Nancy, also known as Nana. I'm Sarah's mom, and her two sons are my favorite grandchildren, seriously. So I want to thank you for writing this book for our grandchildren and for all of us Nanas out here. I have two questions for you today. One, do you have any favorite memories with your Nana? And number two, how's your finger?
That's my mom.
Oh, I love Nana. I love your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People
she's
are
a
always
fan.
like, your glasses are so cool. And I'm like, what about me? Like, I look cute
I know,
too,
you're like,
but they all love my mom. Yeah.
did your mom, was she also like, was she popular when you were in like high school? Did your friends like your mom?
I mean, I guess she wasn't as cool when I was in high school as she is now. She's gotten cooler with age,
Oh,
for
my
sure.
parents were so cool. My parents would get invited to parties before I would be invited. They're like, "You going to the kegger in the woods?" I go, "Huh? No, I had no
Yeah.
plans. I had no plans this weekend." They go, "Well, lock up
Uh,
the house." Yeah, we're going out. I go, "All right." Uh, uh, she could not be more beautiful. Thank you. My finger's doing fine. Thanks for asking. That's a true fan. And memories of my Nana. I had two great grandmas. Um, my grandma, she used to babysit. She used to live. My grandparents lived in my backyard. I mean, they didn't live in the yard, uh, like in a cage or anything. They were like in a house, like a cottage, like a tent or something like that. We just throw them meat and go. But they were in a cottage and they were very cute. And after school, they would babysit me sometimes. And so my grandma taught me how to cook. My love of food, I give that to my grandma. She used to have a Betty Crocker cookbook, and I used to just like lay on her bed and look through the cookbook and look at all the pictures and the desserts and all the fun stuff. And she was so creative. Um, I remember we'd take like a shoebox and cut little kind of rectangles on the bottom of the shoebox and lean them at the end of the kitchen, and then we'd flick bottle caps on the ground and try to, like, if the bigger one was 20 points, then it was 100 points for the smaller one, stuff like that. And she was just always creative and just fun and loved me and just loved me, and I just knew no matter what I did, she would love me. So I was very lucky to have very loving grandparents.
That's great to hear. Well, we're out of time. I feel like that story was
No!
I want everyone to buy this book now. It's a great Mother's Day present.
Let's do another. Let's roll it. Let's roll it more.
Another
hour.
Can we talk to Tori again? Let's just play Tori one more time.
It went so fast.
I know, right? It did. I'm trying to listen to instructions. You know what?
I was secretly judging you the whole time. You did a fantastic job interviewing me.
Oh, that means a lot. Thanks. You did a very good job being interviewed too. Claps for you as well.
Look at this. Who loves who more? That could be the next book.
Or is Chocolate Fountains, they're the best overall, and they did the best job today.
Yeah, exactly.
Chocolate Fountains are the winners. So for everyone watching, don't forget to check out Nana Loves You More in the carousel below, along with Jimmy's other kids' books. And Jimmy, thank you so much for joining us today. It was such a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day early in advance. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you so much. And hopefully we'll see you soon. Bye.
I loved it. Bye, everybody.